Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's happening, family? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it is politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, as always, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, we are going to talk about the recent news involving NFL Hall of Famer turn sports media mogul Shannon Sharpe recently was let go from ESPN. Shocked? No, but we will talk and dissect it a little more in the show, just kind of discussing, okay, what's next for Shannon Sharpe? What's going to be the next big thing? So we're going to talk about it, and also maybe the reasons why he was let go of ESPN. In addition to that, we're also going to chop it up about actor Neal McDonough. For a lot of those are probably saying, who's Neal McDonough? Who's this guy? But his face is very familiar. He's been on multiple films. He's been on multiple TV shows as well. He recently was on Yellowstone. He played a key role in Yellowstone. What else did he play in? Tulsa King. I know he was on. I remember playing the bad guy from Walking Tall. I mean, he has a great career in Hollywood, but he's saying he was blacklisted because he refused. He had a no kissing co-star rule. When it came to working with him, he did not want to have a role where he had to kiss his female co-star. And I was like, it's interesting because I'm no actor, right? I'm no thespian, but I'm pretty sure in acting, you might kiss somebody or get intimate with somebody. Now, I understand if you don't want to do, some hardcore love scenes. I understand. But I'm just saying, when it comes to acting, there is certain times I'm just curious. I'm curious. But he said he was blacklisted by Hollywood because of refusing to be involved in kissing scenes. So we'll talk about that later on the show. And also, in some sad news, this happened in my home state of Virginia. A councilman was set on fire in a hate crime. Which the sad thing is, this past year we've seen multiple political hate crimes, and which I'll talk a little more to see if it was specifically politically driven, but it was a hate crime in general. But we've read about a lot of cases involving elected officials, local, state, federal elected officials being having their lives being harmed by individuals. And it's very, very sad. It's very sad because, again, we have got to live in a society where we can all agree to disagree, have civil discourse without it leading to violence. But again, it's so much stuff happening, y'all. So we're going to talk about it later on the show, and then and some more other interesting news here on the Arrington Gavin Show. But as always, my friends, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your time to tune in to yet another great episode here on this wonderful evening. Multiple ways you can tune into the show. If you happen to be streaming us right now on our YouTube channel, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with family, share with everybody, share with Lottie, Dottie, and everybody, as they say. Please share with so many folks. We want to keep that momentum going. We want to keep those listeners, subscribers, as well as viewerships. We want to keep that momentum going up. So please continue to watch us and watch us on YouTube. You can also stream us on the GOATverse TV network. GOATverse TV network. If you have not downloaded the app yet, please do so. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. And guess what, y'all? Oh yeah, it's free. It is free, and it's an amazing app, all under one hub in your disposal. You can watch it on the go. You can watch it on your your big screen. You can watch it anywhere. You can watch it on your laptop. It's available everywhere. Easy access. It is awesome. Again, you can tune in to programs like myself, yours truly. Again, that's GOATverse TV, and in addition to that, you can listen to the program. We're available on all major podcast platforms. So wherever you listen to your podcast, name a platform, you will find the Arrington Gavin Show on there. Also, you can listen to us on the radio airwaves. You probably listen to us right now in the New Orleans area. For those listen to us on WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time, only on WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. In addition to that, we're going to move it on all the way to the metro Atlanta region. You can listen to the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. Again, that is WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. Yeah, those are all those platforms there. Please do me a favor, my friends, as well, because I know you're on social media. Follow us on social media. Instagram is the Arrington Gavin Show, as well as on Blue Sky and X, formerly known as Twitter. You can also subscribe to our Substack page. I truly appreciate that. In addition to the social media platforms, look, check out our amazing website, theagshow.com, www.theagshow.com. If you happen to want to hit us up in regards to a certain topic discussion you would love to hear on the program, or just you want to say hi, please check out our amazing website. Yeah, there's ways you can follow up on the most recent episodes through there. There's so many other great things on that website. Again, www.theagshow.com. All right, my friends, let's get it going first with our fun fact of the day. Yeah, you know we love doing our fun fact here. Just to provide some good knowledge. It's always great to know some facts, some key traits that you probably was unaware of. I mean, how many times you come across or you interact with folks and be like, oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. I did not know that. Interesting. Well, it's good to know. It's good to know. Look, that's what we're here for. So today's fun fact is a sports related one. For all you hockey lovers out there, did you know the name Layla Edwards? Does that name sound familiar to you? Probably not. Okay, well, Layla Edwards is a rising star in the sport of hockey. She is um the first black woman to ever play for the United States at the uh IIHF World Women's Championship. Uh she also became the first black woman to score a goal for Team USA at the championship game. And so one thing we've come across is certain sports in general. Hey, this sport is more of a white dominant sport. This is more of a black sport. This is more of a European sport. This and that and the other. But when it comes to hockey does have a lot of folks of color. Black people are involved in hockey. But you rarely hear females. You rarely hear black females being involved in hockey. And again, Layla Edwards, and she's I say rising star because she's just 21 years old, so she still has a growing a growing career ahead of her. But I just want to congratulate her for breaking barriers, for continuing to do great stuff. She is a rising star in the sport of hockey, women's hockey. And so we want to keep following her, keep supporting her. Again, the name is Layla Edwards. She was and I repeat, the first black woman to play for Team USA. First black woman to play for Team USA's hockey team. So again, breaking barriers, y'all. All right, y'all. So we are going to head to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
What's up, y'all? Welcome now.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new Gold Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
You know, just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
All right, my friends, that is very true. All beards deserve to be legendary. That's right. That's right. All right. Shout out to Rugged Evolution Beard Care too, by the way, being a proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin Show. So first story, first headline here. Imagine you being a parent, having a sick child. You have a doctor's note. You're acknowledge. What's the word I'm looking for? Not acknowledging, but you are making aware to your child's school that, hey, look, he or she cannot come because they are sick. So we have a doctor's note to excuse this absence because, look, if he or she could go, they would, but they just can't. Imagine them saying, nah, no excuse. We can't tolerate that. No, there's no excuse. Imagine that, y'all. So here in the state of Tennessee, which makes me want to hit up my buddy, Mr. Hendro Remus, who we had on, who's no stranger to the program. So recently in Lawrence County, Tennessee, a new school policy mandates that students must attend school even when sick, with doctor's note not serving as an excuse for absences. Now, coming from a person that was sick as a dog not too long ago, with COVID. Okay, now I'm no kid, I'm not in school, but still, I couldn't imagine if I was a child or a student and I'm like, look, I'm weak, I can't move, I'm just this, I'm that. They're like saying, oh no, they're gonna have to come. So you want me to come infect everybody? Because now let's be honest, the schools are like primary targets for germ spreading, you name it. You saying no, they still gonna have to come to school. What kind of mess is that? What kind of sense does that make, y'all? Is it just me? Am I the only one here? It says here this policy treats all absences including those due to illnesses, the same with a strict absent policy that can lead to court referrals after just 8 absences. Now, in college, at each semester, or I'm sorry, yeah, was it each semester or each class always had a certain amount of like misses if a certain amount of misses, and if you miss over that cap, then you automatically fail the class. Now, I couldn't recall if they had a number of excused absences, but they used to say, okay, no, you're good, we're not going to hold it against you, just you're going to be excused this time, and then just make sure you catch up with the schoolwork. But this, my friends, okay, 8 absences. Now, they're not explaining if this is per semester or for a whole year. But when you have a sick and when you have a sick student or a sick child, the most I can see them missing could be, say, it might take them at least 3 days, right? I'll just say 3. Now, it could be more, depending on the how critical or how sick this student is. But I literally had to be cooped up in my home for more than 5 days, a solid 5 days. I could not imagine literally me trying to force myself to still make the effort just so that I wouldn't get flunked out or suffer any consequences. So here's some key details of this. Okay, so I already said no excuse absence for illnesses. Doctor's notes are not accepted as valid excuses for absence, meaning students can be marked absent even if they are sick. Again, I don't think this is fair at all. I don't know what lesson this is teaching here. I don't know if this is because y'all still trying to make up days for, whether if it's weather prohibit or, still trying to make up the COVID period. I don't know what the hell is going on with this. They're saying here, okay, even if a student is sent home by the school nurse due to illness, it will be marked as a tardy, and 3 tardies equal an absent. So parents obviously are expressing strong oppositions to this policy, calling it punitive and out of touch with the realities of childhood illnesses. I totally agree because, again, kids are surrounded by germs. Kids are germs. No, I'm joking. But kids are always encountering germs, right? Whether if it's especially young kids. Why? Because you're playing with things, you're playing with toys, you're touching this, you're touching that. It's just, it is very crucial out here. I remember when I was in elementary school, we literally had a nurse at the time just to teach little kids the proper ways of washing your hands. The proper ways of washing your hands. It was either a song, it was counting 1, 2, 3, or saying your ABCs or this and any other. I mean, it was important. It was important. Parents are concerned about the impact on their child's health, well-being, and academic performance, as they should. Then on top of that, the schools, especially in Lawrence County, they are potentially going to be encountering some protests from parents. Parents have already spoken about having a gathering outside the school boards and just basically telling them how they truly feel. My question to you all, the listeners, the viewers out there, especially the parents, what would you do in a case like this? Do you just say, bump that? Let me, place our kid in private school, or we're gonna do homeschool. Like, what do you do? What do you do in this case? What do you truly do in this case? I'm curious, y'all. But yeah, again, that's happening in Lawrence County, Tennessee. Look it up. It's a pretty big deal. I mean, I couldn't imagine having a doctor's note and that doctor's note not meaning jack squat. I could not, my friends. I could not. But let me go ahead and move it on. Let's see here. I want to digress and move it on to our next story. This was a big deal, by the way. Shannon Sharpe, NFL Hall of Famer, turn media megastar, media mogul. He is a sportscaster, podcaster. The man has been going viral. He's been on his Steve Harvey bag for the past years. And so he has recently, let me see here. He has recently been in a bit of the in the news lately, but not for the good, more for the bad. So Shannon Sharpe had recently settled after he was facing a $50 million rape lawsuit by a former by an OnlyFans model who said that they've had a thing going on, this and the other. And so that became pretty intense as far as for his momentum in his career. So again, going back, he's a former NFL star, NFL Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champ, turned sports broadcaster. He then went on to really make a name for himself on Undisputed, which was a debate sports show. It was him along with Skip Bayless. And that was one of FS1's, Fox Sports 1's premier shows. It could not quite match with First Take, but it was another alternative, and it was their competitor. So fast forward, Shannon Sharpe started Club Shay Shay. That grew to a huge podcast where he sat down with folks from entertainment, sports, you name it. It hit a peak with the interview with Cat Williams. Then boom, Shannon Sharpe is on top of Mount Rushmore, winning all the awards, getting all the deals, all the endorsements, you name it. He ended up starting an extension of his Club Shay Shay. I think he started a media company called Shay Media, which now houses Club Shay Shay, a program called Nightcap, where he co-hosts with another former NFL star, Chad Johnson or Chad Ochocinco, and it's a couple of other shows that is under that Shay Media hub that I think the Bubba Dub show, and there was another one, but those two, I'll just say those two shows right there is very lucrative for him. But Shannon has always been getting caught up in some dumb stuff. So it really started off with this viral audio video from his Instagram Live, his own personal Instagram Live, of this man getting intimate with the lady, and it's recorded, it's live, and it's on Instagram. It's Instagram Live for one, and I'll just be honest. I still to this day don't know how you accidentally I'll just be honest. I don't know how. I've tried the darnest on my own phone. How do I accidentally open up to IG Live? I just don't know, y'all. I really don't know. But that's just me. Anyways, that right there, hey, he spoke about it. By the way, because I'm moving ahead. Let me backtrack. So he was at FS1 for about 7 years. Then he left the show with Skip Bayless. He then went on to sign with the competition. He signed with ESPN to be a regular on First Take, the highest rated, the most popular sports debate show in the world. Okay. He was appearing on there 3 times a week, going head to head with Stephen A. Smith. So right then and there, boom. Club Shay Shay, your media company is growing. You then head to ESPN for another great pay raise, great exposure for you. And so while he's working for the mouse, this man has this audio that comes out. And in your mind, you're like, yo, Uncle's wilding. But it added humor because then he apologized, he this and that, but he also said, well, I be telling you, I be getting in now. I be getting in now. I be getting mines. Them hips. I had my hips surgery. The hips are good. The hips are good. People, they literally had a roast. I believe one episode of Nightcap, they had a roast where they had a lot of special guests, Deion Sanders, Cam Newton, anybody came in there just to joke on Shannon Sharpe, like, bro, Shannon out here really getting it like that. And it was funny, right? And then on top of that, it really boosted his ratings. Okay, it boosted his ratings because I think he received some like endorsement to promote some form of in some form of enhancement or vitamin that gives you that energy boost and that drive and stuff. So it helped, right? And ESPN was still cool with them. They did not suspend him. They did not fight. They okay, it was a simple accident. We're gonna let that slide. Again, he kept his job that time. But fast forward, y'all, this allegation came out where a former OnlyFans, well, I say former now, but at the time she was an OnlyFans model who had said she had a relationship with Shannon Sharpe. There was a huge age gap, by the way, okay, and she had accused him of sexual assault and battery charges. That's what she had some very very intense allegations brought against the former NFL star. And so that led to a $50 million lawsuit. Now, this is just one person. And I don't mean to say it like that, y'all, especially for those who have truly been or who are victims of sexual assault and the whole 9 yards. What I'm saying is in front of our lens, in front of the, for what people read about and see about all the time in the papers and the magazines and on social media and stuff like that. And it's sad, but when there's one allegation, when there's one allegation being brought up against a public figure, it's sad, but it doesn't really gravitate to folks' attention like that when it's one. Because in my opinion, an allegation is an allegation, and we need to take this serious, take it serious just as any other accusation, which by in the court, and of course with both parties it was taken serious. But I'm just saying, as far as for the public will see is that, okay, one person, and okay, this is one person. But when of course, when it gets to higher numbers, they're like, oh snap, this is really serious because it's more than one, it's one more person now. But this was just one person. She had audio tapes and this and any other. It wasn't looking good, let's just say that. And the reason why I say that is because Shannon Sharpe spoke about spoke on his innocence. He considered it a shakedown, especially from the accuser's attorney, because the attorney, and I'm forgetting who. Yeah, Tony Busby. Tony Busby is not well respected by a lot of folks in the entertainment space, and so they look at him as like a user, and somebody's just trying to ruin somebody's career all for the almighty dollar, not really doing it truly for it. That's how he's looked upon from other entertainers. I've heard that in circles, and from other entertainers. That's how they feel about this person. Now, Shannon Sharpe and they end up settling outside of court. This case was dropped, but they end up settling outside of court. The accuser, who's goes by Jane Doe, the accuser had basically said, hey, look, I'm retiring from OnlyFans now. Thank you all for supporting me, this and that and the other, yada, yada, yada. Now, so we already know it was for a good sum of money, enough to retire this girl. I've spoken about it here on this program. Me personally, And I'm not saying who's innocent, who's guilty, because nothing was proven in the court of law. So I'm no attorney, but I'm just saying that's how it is on paper. Nothing was proven in the court of law. I'm going to fight for my innocence. Okay, I will continue to fight for my innocence. I'm not paying nobody a dime if so. I'm just saying, for me, when something is settled, I don't look at that as a win. Me personally, I don't look at that as a win. I look at that as a loss. Now, I asked the question on a few shows ago to you all. Okay, now that this is settled, now that this is done, now during majority of this court case, Shannon was like on a leave, put on a leave of absence from ESPN. He was not seen on ESPN for quite a while this whole thing was happening. It ended up getting settled. Like I said, it ended up getting settled outside of court. But my question that I asked you all is, what does that mean for the Shannon Sharpe brand now? Where does that put him at? Does this mean? Okay, boom, Uncle Shay is good now. He good. He back in the game. This and that. Like, what does that mean? Now, what we see that just happened recently is that he was let go from ESPN. This reported by USA Today. The on-air relationship between ESPN and Shannon Sharpe appears to be over less than about 2 weeks after the Pro Football Hall of Famer settled a $50 million lawsuit related to the sexual assault and battery accusations by an ex-girlfriend. Now, the network has decided to cut ties with Sharpe, according from The Atlantic. Sharpe's last appearance on ESPN was in April, stepping away from after the lawsuit was initially filed, but he publicly denied the allegation, calling it, as I mentioned earlier, a shakedown. And maintain his relationship with the accuser was 100% consensual. Now, Shannon recently shared a clip on his platform discussing let's see here. Let me see if I can find it for you all. Give me 1 second if I can find that sound bite.
Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted it to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first 2 brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And this is what the headline is going to be for the next couple of days. So, bro, again, I know you told me this, I don't have to apologize, but I'm going to do it one final time tonight, and I won't apologize again. I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model from as long as I can remember. And I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN and every place that I've been, be it Club Shay, Nightcap, Undisputed, ESPN. Thank you guys for your support. Now, we get started, obviously.
So yes, right there, you could hear the emotion in his voice, in his tone. As he explained, he wished that this was moved a little later on because um his brother, Sterling Sharp, this year is getting inducted, or depending on the timing, probably already has, but he's getting inducted into to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, or has been announced as one of the folks getting inducted, yes, in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Well deserved. Sterling Sharp was a phenomenal wide receiver playing for the Green Bay Packers during his career. I believe he played 6 or 8 years in the league, but due to injury, ended his career early. But he truly was a one of a kind receiver. Shannon Sharpe has even said, really, his brother was his role model, and this is the first time ever you got to see two brothers inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Shannon is what at the end of the day, a true class act. Look, he said it. He said, "Look, I continue want to apologize because I screwed up, and I don't want you to, I hate that this is overshadowing your moment." His brother is going to be there with him through thick and thin, and he said, "Hey, look, no need to apologize." As everybody should, and on top of that too, I think the same way his fans, his base would think of him. I don't think this is going to be the end of Shannon Sharpe. I don't think this is going to ruin his brand. Yes, he got laid off of ESPN, but I just want to explain something here. ESPN was not his primary source of income. Okay. No way, no, that was not his primary source of income. He was showing up on ESPN a few times a week. Still good, but he was showing up there a few times a week. He was a person that he was part-time on ESPN. People are still investing into Nightcap, into Club Shay Shay, into all the programs under Shay Media. He is still a former, I think he played 14 years in the NFL, 3 Super Bowl rings, okay? NFL Hall of Famer. He is still very much a hot commodity and a big free agent. Now, I don't know if other sports networks will be reaching out, because as I, have shared here on the program, we see the struggle that Fox Sports 1 is having. Will they try to offer Shannon offer he can't refuse and bring him back with his own show? We don't know. Me personally, I think that would be dope for really not just for him, but for FS1, because look, you guys are desperate at this point. You are desperate. You canceled half your shows. You've let go a bunch of your folks. You are desperate right now. Imagine the story. Shannon Sharpe, who's already kind of like a controversial figure at the moment, returns back to where it all started for him with his own show, or he even gets FS1, or he even gets Nightcap possibly televised. We don't know. But mark my words, I guarantee you they will either probably, it won't surprise me if they bring him back. It won't surprise me if they do. Because ESPN is playing the whole family friendly crap, so they're not gonna obviously they're not bringing him back. Nor I think he would want to go back after this instant. Let me see. None of the smaller, I look at, like, the college stations are not, no, he don't need to go to no college station. It'll be interesting. I'm over here thinking, and he might just stay on the streaming route. Because again, he's his media company, man, he making so much money, it ain't even funny. I guarantee you this joker making so much money, it's not hurting his feelings, y'all. But hey, we will continue to follow. We know that being in the public eye, look, it comes with consequences. Hopefully Shannon's learned from this. This man's almost 60 years old. He should not have, first of all, I hate to bring up what like Monique said, but Monique basically said, look, you need yourself one of them. You need one of them grown women that will make you cornbread and peach cobbler, and you need them aunties. You need an auntie. The ones that wear them house gowns. See, Shannon after them youngins, bro. You after them youngins. You better find somebody his age. You better find him a Angela Bassett or a Halle Berry somewhere, or like I said, somebody that don't play. Okay, I'll leave it like that. Somebody that don't play. Oh man. But let me go ahead. We're going to take another commercial break, my friends. Again, do not go anywhere. We have a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
SHANNON Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at JazarenLearningInstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Our risk from injury from a fall or car crash increases as we age. But getting older doesn't have to mean giving up on the activities you love. Take simple steps to avoid injuries, like doing activities that improve strength and balance. Get yearly eye and wellness exams, and talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the medicines you take. Also, tell your doctor if you've fallen or worry about falling. Learn more about aging without injury at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. As I mentioned earlier, recently in a horrific attack in my home state of Virginia, a recent Virginia city councilman was set on fire in an attack over a personal matter. Let me go ahead and play you this soundbite here, and we'll talk a little bit about it on the other side.
Alert here. This just in. It's in Southern Virginia. We're getting word of a horrific attack. A city council member was set on fire inside of his office. Of where a local this is, am I reading this right?
So yeah, he works at a local magazine.
Yeah, he's at a local magazine. That's the office where this happened. Mm-hmm. Okay. And where he works. The 38-year-old Lee Vogler is a city councilman in Danville, Virginia, 2 hours south of Roanoke. Police say the suspect entered into the victim's office and then doused him with flammable liquid. The victim and the suspect then exited the building, where the suspect then set the victim on fire. Just horrific details we're learning. And right now, the extent of Vogler's injuries are unknown, and the suspect is in custody. Trace, it looks like the first phone calls came into police around 11:38.
So that right there, and that was a previous, soundbite from Fox News, actually, that was reporting at the heat of the moment, at the time of that horrific act. So let me read you a little bit more about this in context. It's reported by I'm reading this from PBS News here. As I mentioned, a council member in Virginia was set on fire by a man who had entered a local magazine's office through a locked door. Now, Lee Vogler is the gentleman's name, 38 years old, ran through the building covered in gasoline in an attack that investigators said stemmed from a personal matter that was unrelated to his politics or work as councilman. Now, the scary thing is at this point is, okay, personal matter. How personal are we talking for it to involve someone dousing another like literally setting somebody on fire? Like, what is the, and it's still an ongoing investigation. As you heard there earlier, he's an elected official in Danville, Virginia. I'm very familiar with Danville. Police say the suspect entered Vogler's office, where he works at a local magazine, confronted him and doused him in flammable liquid. And then he mentioned they both went out, and the suspect is 29 years old. They said his conditions wasn't immediately known, but the suspect, Shasti Michael Buck Hayes, okay, that's a long name, was in police custody. Police says charges were pending, and it wasn't immediately known whether Hayes had a lawyer at the time the attack occurred at the office of Showcase Magazine, a monthly publication on Southwest Virginia and North Carolina magazine. Owner and publisher Andrew Brooks had described the magazine being. Brooks said there were 2 employees at the magazine's office at the time. The other employees called Brooks and told him what happened. Our door is locked. They forced their way into the office and went to Lee. The next thing, Lee is running through the office covered in gasoline, yelling for our office mate to call 911. Wow. The guy chased him outside and said him. This is disgusting, y'all. I mean, thoughts and prayers. He's right now. Let's see. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, just praying for the family, praying for a speedy recovery for the council member. Reading here, Vogel served on the city council for more than 20 years and currently is in his 4th term. Married with 2 children. He is a managing partner at the Andrew Brooks Media Group, a marketing firm that publishes several regional magazines and operates a branding merchandise website and music publishing company as well. Yeah, we this is truly a scary story, disgusting act. But again, prayers on the councilman for speedy, safe recovery. This is it's an ongoing investigation, so we will see more of what was the reason. Like they said, this was related on a personal matter, nothing to do with his politics. So we will continue to find out. We will continue to find out what more of what they can find out from here. So again, truly sad. Let me go ahead and my friends, digress from this story. And as I mentioned earlier, before I move on to our next one, yet even though this was not politically motivated or a political hate crime, it was still obviously a hate crime, and it involved an elected official. So please, we just want to keep prayers for all of our elected officials out there. Again, regardless of political affiliation, I know it can, it can be tough. But at the end of the day, you got to keep them safe, because hey, when they're safe, your communities are safe, and we just got to keep them, keep them and their families, in prayers at all times, y'all. Let me move it on to looks like this might be our last headline, our last story here on the show. As I mentioned earlier about an actor by the name of Neal Mech. Let me see if I can, where he is. There we go. Let me see if, is that a good picture? I want to make sure I got a good picture for you guys. For those who are what, yeah, this is a good picture right here. So y'all have seen Neal before. For those who are watching us right now, y'all have seen Neal before. As I mentioned, he's played the bad guy on recent shows. He's been on Tulsa King, Yellowstone, Walking Tall. He's been on everything. But this story, this really caught my attention. Neal McDonough says he couldn't get a job, and Hollywood just completely turned on. He says Hollywood completely turned on me by having a no kissing co-stars rule. I'll be honest, I think this is a very corny rule, might I ask. Not saying if I'm just saying I think being an actor, literally your basic job skills in acting is, look, you're gonna have to do a kissing scene. We're not saying it gotta be all too intense with that, but just just a peck, just a peck or kiss, or like there's gonna be scenes where you have to show some form of intimacy towards your co-star if y'all play husband and wife, this and any other. I feel like that's essential. Now, I will say, before I even read a little more of this, well, let me read it more, and then I'll give you my take. So, Neal McDonough, known for his work, obviously I said, on Yellowstone, Suits, Minority Report, and more, is opening up about what he believes has negative impact on his career. In a recent episode of Nothing Left Unsaid podcast, McDonough claimed that Hollywood turned on him because of his no kiss clause in his contracts, which made him unable to book acting gigs. He's quote here, he says, I'd always had in my contracts that I wouldn't kiss another woman on screen. The Desperate Housewives actor said, my wife didn't really have a problem with it. It was me really who I had a problem. I was like, yeah, I don't want to put you through it. I know we're going to start having kids, and I don't want to put my kids through it. The Band of Brothers actor, see, they're naming all this stuff. The Band of Brothers actor then explained how his no kissing co-stars rule impacted his ability to land jobs for 2 years. He says, intimacy is a whole different thing for me. So when I wouldn't do it and they couldn't understand, Hollywood just completely turned on me, and they wouldn't let me be part of the show anymore. For 2 years, I couldn't get a job. I lost everything you could possibly imagine. Not just houses and material things, but your swagger, your cool, who you are, your identity, everything. My identity was an actor, and a really good one. While McDonough didn't specify at what point in his career this affected him, he's been cast in many films and TV shows overall in the years, most recently Last Rodeo, Homestead, Walking Tall, and Yellowstone. So look, he still very much has a great career and is getting paid. But here's my thing. I can see folks feeling uncomfortable getting overly too intimate, because I will say, I don't know if y'all realize, but there's the sex content, the love scenes in films now and in TV shows, it gets a bit more graphic than it was, I would say, in previous times, right? In other countries, it's probably a little more extreme than it is in the United States, but I feel like the United States is trying to test the waters on getting to that level. Seriously. I mean, we remember when 50 Shades of Grey first came out. I feel like that has nothing on, current films and TV shows now. I truly, I mean, you even see them on cable shows, not just streaming shows, but cable shows. You're seeing it, a lot of stuff being over sexualized, and that's the society we live in. So I can see that being an issue, but he said it best. Hey, my wife didn't have an issue with it. Why? Because I guess your wife knows your career is an actor. There's gonna be time where they might say, okay, you want to, kiss a co-star and this and the other. I do think that, for his brand, or just as any brand, hey, look, you're gonna have your stipulations. Like I'll do this role, but there's a clause where I just don't do this. If you can give me a role with just not this, I'm cool. I mean, I think Will Smith was one of the rare, not, I wouldn't say rare, but it was known where, Will said, look, I'm not going to do no kissing scene with another man. That we're not going to do. That's nothing against me, any hate towards the LGBTQ community. That's just not me. I feel uncomfortable doing that, so let's not do this. So, hey, look, Will has, that I understand why, this guy says, hey, look, I just don't want to do it. Now, to some folks, they're probably saying, what's the issue? It's just, it's with another woman. What's the problem? For him, maybe this is just his trust with him and his wife, or him and his family. But, and I'm no parent either. But again, I think for him to say, I don't want it to be, I don't want that being brought up on my kids and them seeing me kissing another. I don't want. I'm like, I think I think this is a story for more just publicity. I think it's a great publicity tool. Do I think it's true that he has it in his clause? Probably. I don't know this man from a can of paint, but I do think this is a great attention for him. I mean, obviously, hey, I'm talking about it here on the show. He's been on more conservative outlets because he's one of those guys that's just anti-Hollywood, and he's more in the conservative realm, and he's like, I like what Trump is doing. Like, that's the kind of guy he is. He's gonna be in more of the conservative theme films, the man's as they say kind of films. But yeah, so that's where he's at now. But look, I've seen him in many films. He's a hell of an actor. I would say he's like the ultimate bad guy in roles. But I do think that's quite interesting that he is, and maybe I would love to have him on here to really just get the mindset of like, truly, why is it, and if so, like, when you first wanted to become an actor, what did acting, in your opinion, have in mind? What did you always just say, I just want to do this one specific role, this one kind of type of role, or I don't know. I'm so curious, y'all. I'm so curious, and I'm also looking at my time and realizing that I am running out of time, y'all. As always, thank you so much for sticking with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Please follow us and tune into the program weeknights, available on all digital and streaming platforms, as well as on the radio airwaves. I truly appreciate the love. Continue to support us as well. And just y'all stay safe out there. Stay safe out there. Be kind to one another. Stay informed as always. Don't be left back. And just, again, treat others the way you want to be treated. I'll see y'all soon for another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.